Hey, does she sleep? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where? Okay. Yeah, we are. All right. All right. I believe this is Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. Don't turn it into a difficult Monday. And Brenda, I saw something interesting on the highway. So I want to remind everybody, there are a lot of student drivers out there. Today on my way into work, there was a student driver, and they drive very slow because they're learning. And my mom always told me, you drive the speed limit, and if you drive slow, other people need to go around you. So just go around, and there's no need to honk your horn at them because they're learning, just like at one point in time, you were learning. So don't honk your horn at them or, shake your fist because that makes them nervous. And at some point, you're going to have a child who's going to be a new driver or a grandchild who's a new driver. So have some patience. All right, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, let me know that you are here. If I don't know that you're here, what's going to end up happening is a warrant may be issued for your arrest, and it may become a difficult Thursday for you. Sean Foster. Kayla Connor. Douglas Marshall. Christopher Mendez. Carlos Landon. Danny Machado. Thank you. Angel Cantu.
Your Honor, he's present on council.
Thank you. Samantha Richards. Sean Chrisman. Amber Grant. Robert McNeil. Thank you. Marvin Smith.
Judge Heisman, present.
Okay. John Arredondo. Robert Solis. Mary Shepard. Joy McCormick. Thank you. Melissa Carlson. Paul Vasquez Jr.
He's present, Your Honor.
Oh, where is he? Oh, thank you. All right, the persons who are in custody are John Bueno, Mark Cepeda, Anthony Davila, Albert Aguirre, Alfonso Diaz, David Sines. Is there a David Sines here? Okay. Brandon Lookingbill, Ruben Perez, Megan Wildheit, Jacqueline Wallace, Juan Ratana, John Arredondo, Raul Reyes, Ethan Ferriss, Alfonso Diaz, Malik Lampkin, Ronald Gilliland, David Gallegos, Sherry Cooper, Omar Kalunga, Atlanta Carrillo, Patrick Ambo, Jose Vallejo. Did I say that correctly? Jose Vallejo. Yay! Albert Reyes, Edgar Vasquez, Jonathan Ferguson, and Britannia Rosas. All right, is there anyone who's here whose name was not called or you walked in late? All right, attorneys, I try to keep the well as clear as possible. So what you can do is grab a file, place it on the desk for the prosecutor, then take your seat. They will call you and you will go in order of appearance. Before you approach the court, you need to have conferred with the state, conferred with your client, and then ask the clerk for the file. Once the clerk takes the file, just have a seat, and then I will call you in the order of appearance. Does everyone understand? All right, please confer. Yes. Mhm. Yes. Christopher. Okay. I'll see the file on Mendez.
Yeah.
Sally, who are you here for?
It's with Dean Dyson on an out-of-county warrant.
Okay, he's not here yet.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I will reach out to him. This has been set in other courts, and so maybe he went another direction.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
thank-
As soon as he comes, I have the order. So as soon as he comes, we can take them up.
Okay, I'll text him.
All right, thank you. Right, we're done with that one. Yes. Brenda, do you see Marvin Smith?
Yes, page 7, but
All right, thank you.
that was retrial or?
All right, who's here for Marvin Smith?
Judge, I am.
And where's Mr. Smith?
Right here, Judge.
All right, he needs to come forward. We're tireless.
I'll be the state.
Yeah, we're tireless. Why are we tireless?
Idlest. The prosecutor told me he was double dismissing his case. With the letter.
I'll be tendering a dismissal and an apology
Right
in returning this bond money because I feel that. bad.
now,
Can I get some?
I'm only gonna listen to people who have ties on.
Can I get some?
Nobody's.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Smith?
Judge, this is Ernie's client. Ernie is currently out with COVID. So he's quarantining. I've been asked to appear on his behalf. Yeah, I believe it's the first setting before you. I don't know anything about the facts of the case. I did confer very briefly. So I'm just asking the court if they could just please give it a 30-day reset. Don't know what else to tell you.
All right. We're gonna come back on September 15th. And I'm gonna give you a reset form.
Judge, you may want to check those dates. I know that Ernie will be out of the country
He'll be back.
after. Oh, he will?
Thank you,
Oh,
Charles.
sorry, Charles is going to. Okay.
Oh, and where are they headed? I'd like to know.
Yes.
Where are you headed, Charles? Would you do me a favor? If you find the pot of gold, do you have plans to bring it back on the plane with you? Do you have to declare anything?
I have global entry, so I don't have to declare anything.
Okay. Just let us see the pot of gold, or just the pot that it was in.
They're not going to play golf. They're going to do all those games they do where they carry that big log.
Ah,
Yeah.
Whatever
That'd be.
they call it, the Celtic games, I don't know what those are called.
The Highland Games. Highland Games?
Yeah. Well, I think it's They say the Highland Games, but I think when the Queen goes, it's called something else.
I don't know. I truly don't know.
I wondered what the hell's going on.
I had some files that weren't over there, so I don't know if they're in here or
Yeah.
do you have either
Already good.
Malik Estrada?
All right. If he'll sign that.
I will. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Then after that, Mr. Smith, you are excused.
That will make that easy. And
And I'm reviewing.
for Grant, yes.
Entry.
Yeah.
We're gonna be out there.
There's no way I'm. Thanks,
I
though.
don't see you, brother.
Likewise,
Be safe out there. You see a bottle of whiskey that's got my name on it, feel free.
I will get that caddy. I'll try. The first and the half of this possibly don't have it.
No, it's not. It's not over there. Yes. She's been on.
Sorry, who is it? All right, and it's set for today? All right, can you go get the file?
Tomorrow or no?
No, let's just see what's going on. Is he in custody?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna see if we can get him.
Our very first.
All right, you want to talk to the state and see if they can get their file down if they don't have it?
Before we go to the children, bring them over.
Yes, and see if they can have the file brought down.
Yes, Judge, thank you. On the add-on docket.
I see. Thanks, Marcus.
How you doing? We got this guy here.
Yeah, I heard it.
You to be solid. There's a gentleman See where my thumb is? It says Malik Estrada.
Mhm.
He's on the docket for today on the computer, but he's not on the printed docket. The judge wanted to know if y'all could bring down his file. So you and I, or Marcus and I could at least confer on it, even though he's not here from the jail, but maybe we can still talk about it. If that makes sense.
I just looked it up.
Okay, I think you can borrow that calendar back. And then I have a case that's false statement to obtain credit or whatever. Do you handle those? Or no? This is a third, if you don't mind. I don't see an offer written in there, so just at least I can get that. Sorry.
No.
No problem.
All right, who's here on Donald Gilliland?
Council President, Your Honor,
Yes.
and Mr. Gilliland is one.
All right, Mr. Gilliland, come on up.
Actually, had a wax folder. Rolling some over.
Motion that was followed.
Mhm.
Okay. You know, you're okay with your trial or is this is the bench trial?
Yep, second.
Jury.
Yeah. So long as we saw what the email was, they're gonna bring him out. I guess we'll go up and see what approach on her. Second thing.
All right, can you confer with the state on this motion to withdraw?
Judge Sean Foster, he's defending himself one more time. I asked the judge.
All right, you need to confer with them on a motion to withdraw because he's scheduled for jury trial. I understand.
He's here, and she said, I asked her yesterday, I said, hey, could I have some time? And she said, come bring
Okay,
it
all right, you
today.
need to confer with the state.
Shows up, what she
Yeah, I
did,
never updated it.
and then check with you, and if you were okay with it, she'd probably be okay with it, but she wanted me to check with you first. He's just gonna turn himself in.
All right, who's here on Joe Contreras?
He said, yes. He answered the document.
All right, Joe Contreras, come forward. All right, you have to call him to come up.
I didn't think you'd have any heartache over it, but she wanted me to check with you.
He says Joe Contreras is not on the docket. He wasn't brought.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
yes.
we're gonna recall it tomorrow.
We'll approach on that. All right.
It always is.
And then y'all are bringing
For Plea Deadline day.
Understands that
Thank
our
you, sir.
position is in their. I'm just explaining to you.
I do.
All right,
We got. You're not.
all
It
right.
was the first. day they
Just
tried to
get the
use
file from the clerk.
some new.
Who is here on Joy McCormick?
The retina scan. The guy said, welcome home. We left. I mean, they never touched your suitcase. We never waited in
Good
line.
morning.
The
Hi.
customs line was like.
So where are we on this case and have you conferred with the state?
We walked right up. the whole thing was 7 days. Yeah, and you automatically. Excuse me. So sorry. So that's the way to travel for sure.
This is my first.
Okay, y'all need to confer.
Yes, Your Honor.
I heard you. I don't know.
All right, we're recessing at exactly at 12. Yes. All right. You're welcome.
Yes, yes, yes.
Here you go.
All right, just give me a moment. And I need to take up Roland Garcia very quickly, then I'll take you up. All right. Donald Gilliland.
Remember Daniel,
Yes.
Tony was on that and you were going to give her probation on my case. I don't know if you can. This is what happened.
All right, and who's for the state on this case? Brenda, you ready? Court is calling 2020 CR 3553, 2020 CR 4853, 2022 CR 0066, State of Texas versus Donald. I'm sorry, and 2022 CR 0067A, State of Texas versus Donald Gilliland.
One more drink.
There is. And I'm sorry, Brenna, and 2022 CR 0068A. State of Texas versus Donald Gilliland. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Roland Garcia for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, defense has filed motions to withdraw in each of these cause numbers. State, do you have any objections to the defense's motion to withdraw?
No objection.
Prior to hearing that, I would like to hear the matter on the motion to, for PR bond. And the reason being is because if the motion to withdraw is granted, it's going to further delay the decision on that case and ultimately the trial, which is part of the issues on why you think Mr. Gilliland deserves a PR bond.
All right, the court will hear your motion for a PR bond.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Gilliland is in custody right now. He's been in custody since approximately April of this year. The original setting for this case for today was for discovery compliance. This court had ordered the state and law enforcement to turn over certain electronic discovery. My computer expert has made those attempts, and that electronic discovery still has not yet been tendered. I have been conferring with the state trying to expedite that. There is an enormous amount of discovery in this case. And it's not going to be possible to go to trial in a short time frame with this. And so Mr. Gilliland is indigent. He is making efforts to try to better his life with the assistance of his family. He's enrolled in college. He has applied for his FAFSA, for his VA benefits. He's trying to get ahead on his life, but he's not able to make bond. He's currently remanded without bond in all of these cases. So considering that this is going to result in a long delay before his eventual trial, we're asking for the court to take that into consideration and to set a PR bond, or in the alternative, if the court is not inclined to grant a PR bond on each of these cases, that bond be set at $500 on each.
All right, defense's motion for a PR bond in each cause number is denied. The court will note for the record that the defendant was a no-show, and the court gave the defendant a chance to appear before issuing a bond forfeiture, and the defendant did not appear. So in each of the cause numbers, the motion for a PR bond is denied. With regard to the motion to withdraw, any objection, state?
No objection to the motion.
All right, in each of the cause numbers, the motion to withdraw is granted. Ms. Ferguson, can you see if Mr. Blanc is available? All right, so there's going to be a new attorney appointed to you, Mr. Gilliland. Do you understand? All right, thank you.
Any issues?
Yes.
So what?
No,
No.
they have not. No, there's nobody in the waiting room. Yeah, the only person there is Sally
Out of your.
and Dean is not present.
Except third degree, I don't care who read. He was nice enough to volunteer, but then I took it away from him because I wanted to read it again.
You are, that's pretty good.
I'm gonna help you out with a minute, okay?
Mr. Bonk,
Yes,
are
Judge,
you available to represent Mr. Gilliland?
I am Judge.
All right. So after you all conferred, just approach.
Okay, thank you.
Don't file these back. They're gonna approach us.
Let's hope not.
All right. Court is calling 2019 CR 11422W State of Texas versus Antonio Davila. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record, please?
Marcus Sanders for the state. This is for defendants. Well, you wanna. Yeah, where's your client? Judge, it's alleged that there's two new number ones out of Uvalde County. We're asking for some time to try to get those reports. I know you may want to set it for a contested, and that's fine. I just asked for a little more time than a couple of weeks so that we can get it.
All right. So where is this case going, though?
We're hoping for inpatient drug treatment and then the extension on probation if we get these new cases cleared up.
Well, I can tell you with regards to any inpatient facility or any entrance to any program, it's not going to happen as long as there are outstanding cases pending.
That's the point, that we're trying to get those resolved. Fortunately, I contacted an attorney out of Uvalde who's looking at the case. He's been unable to get the ball rolling. Apparently that they're way behind, so they just offer to keep those pushing forward and encourage.
Okay, why is Brenda, are people whispering?
Yes, I can.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Encourage to stay and try to get that resolved. So that this resolves some of the-
all right. And when is that going to happen?
Judge, I'm sending, as soon as I step back down, I'll send an email to our investigators requesting it.
So how much time are you all requesting?
Whenever you would. Well, will it be set for contested or will it be set for?
No, I mean, it'll be set for a contested, and then if you all decide on this one, I'll put a notation on the docketing sheet. If you guys decide not to do a contested, then the court will allow that.
And we would ask for 30 days.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for a contested hearing? All right, we're going to come back on September 26th for a contested hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes. Okay.
You want to talk to back here?
All right, Carlos Landon. All right, today is your plea deadline date.
We just got the offer today,
Okay,
so that's for a reset. We also got the blood discovery a couple weeks ago, so just like one reset.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall Mr. Landon for 3 weeks for plea deadline date? And I need the acknowledgement of discovery today.
I think I've already done it, but I'll do it if I haven't.
Yeah, there's no acknowledgement of discovery. So we're going to come back on September 15th, and that's your plea deadline date. Mr. Landon, what that means is after that point, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements unless it's open to court or unless it's for a good cause. You understand? I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. They're going to give you a reset form. All right, who's here on the writs? Who's here on the writs?
I'm Your Honor.
All right. And Vallejo Gutierrez. Is he
Yes,
here,
ma'am.
Deputy Laura? He's not on the Zoom. Where are all these people who are supposed to be on Zoom?
Yeah, we can waive their formal appearance, Judge.
If we've ordered people to be here by Zoom, they're going to be here by Zoom.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that the jail has failed to produce them.
All right. And so who's appearing by Zoom? That's my question.
Sally Uncle for the state and Dean Dyson.
I'm talking about the inmates.
I believe there's only one left that hasn't been picked up, Dean. Is that correct? I mean, I'm kind of flying by what Stephanie has told me.
We just checked and Edgar, Vasquez and Jose Angel Vallejo Gutierrez are both still listed as in custody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that Uvalde takes all 4 of them.
And I believe that that is the case. Uvalde has already acknowledged that they're, yesterday, they will have him picked up by Mr. Gutierrez by noon today.
I guess having an abundance of caution, we should present anyway.
Mhm. All right, so everyone, just give me a moment. I'm going to see which inmates are going to appear by Zoom, and then we'll take this up. You're welcome. Megan Wiltite. Hi. Where's Miss Wilhite? Is she going to be brought out? Did anybody ask for her to be brought out?
All right. Okay, Judge, yeah, we're just trying to now, so I can't get an offer on my case because Mr. Hayek is on the first meeting. And I just wanted to see if I could be excused.
He said he's going to.
All right, we'll call you back. We'll call you back. I mean, you say you have to be somewhere else.
Have to do my Zoom and so on.
Okay, and you can zoom in here. Yes, yes. They'll give you the Zoom link. You're welcome. Joy McCormick.
Are they coded? Are they coded? Yeah. Are they coded?
Hi.
I think yes. Okay.
All right, Ms. McCormick.
Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, no,
I apologize.
that's okay. All right. Do you have all the discovery?
Apparently so, Your Honor. I was thinking that I was missing a video, but the district attorney double check that it is uploaded and I'll go back to my office and download that video. And I received an offer, so I would ask for a short reset so that I can sit down with my client, look at the video, go over the offer, and I will let the court know what we decide to do.
Okay. All right, so what I'll do is I'll give you a 2-week reset. Is that enough time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I'll arrange a schedule.
All right, I'll set you for September 15th. Is that enough time? And Ms. McCormick, is that enough time for you to make a decision? All right, that will be your plea deadline date.
Yes, sir. That would work.
And for some reason, they're not spelling your client's name correctly. They're missing the O. So I don't know if you want to get that corrected.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you and your client will just sign that, and then you can be excused.
Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. Do you have a file?
He's a pre-indictment, so there's no file. It's a matter I approached you on Tuesday, and I didn't have an order, but I have the order now.
Okay, let me see what's going on.
It was my lady. She was going to go to college in Arizona. So I just didn't give me an order, and I did it. So,
Okay. And did you confer with the state?
yes, I confirmed the state.
All right, who did you confer with?
Yes.
All right, and no objections?
Correct. No objection.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I hope she's taking a full load.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Here you go. You're welcome. And just make sure you give that to the clerk. All right, so all of these people have been released? All right, yes.
So it looks like our body is.
All right, we're gonna go on the record. I said we're gonna go on the record. Yes. All right, Ms. Unkefer. Brenna, are you ready? All right. The court is going to call 2022 W0396, 2022 W0397, 2022 W0398. All right. And this is ex parte Jose Angel Vallejo Gutierrez. Could everyone please whisper? All right. And if you could state your name for the record.
My name's Dean Dyson. On behalf of applicants.
All right, and state.
Sally Unkefer for the state.
All right, so the court is in the receipt of the application for writ of habeas corpus. State, have you had a chance to review that?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, and all the dates in order?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank you, Judge. As you know, Article 1521 of the Code of Criminal Procedure allows the sheriff to hold a person on an out-of-county warrant for no more than 10 days. After that person must be released on the first bond without any additional sureties.
okay, is there a reason for the whispering? Brenda can't hear. And everyone in the box, could you please lower your voices? The court reporter has to be able to hear to do a record. She can't hear. I can't hear. And when the court reporter can't hear, I know people are really whispering. When I can't hear, it's usually because I have bad allergies. Please continue.
We filed the instant application on August 23rd. Through that application, we fixed an application. Shot from Bear County's own dashboards, which together would attest and show that Mr. Vallejo Gutierrez has been in our custody in excess of 10 days based solely on warrants issued by Uvalde County. In 2022 W0396, Uvalde County has alleged that Mr. Vallejo Gutierrez committed an act of evading arrest or detention with the vehicle. Third degree felony now pending in Uvalde County trial number 2021 -05-14168-CR, which is currently remanded without bond. However, because he has been held here in excess of 10 days based solely on the aforementioned Docket County warrant, we would respectfully request that Mr. Vallejo Gutierrez be granted release off of the bond that he's associated with that bond.
All right, and then with the other cases as well?
The other ones as well. The offense associated with 2022 W-0397 is an act of smuggling. It's also remanded without bond on that. And in 2022 W-0398, the offense is failure to appear for the evading charge. And he's also been remanded without bond on that.
All right, and state with regards to those three cases, has Uvalde collected Mr. Jose Angel Vallejo Gutierrez?
Your Honor, they have not. He has indeed been held in the Bexar County Jail on his out-of-county warrants and alone in excess of 10 days. However, I would notify the court and defense counsel that Uvalde has notified the DA's office as of yesterday afternoon that they intend on picking this individual up this morning, likely by 10 this morning.
And if they're here, they can have him. We're not as concerned with how he gets off the county's time, just that he gets off the county's time.
All right, so with regards to the PR bond, then that will be granted because he's been confined in excess of the days. But are there any conditions you're asking for with the PR bond?
No, Your Honor,
All right, any amount you're requesting for the PR bond?
I think the PR bond is set via the amount typically the same as what.
In this instance, though, there isn't been a number fixed to it.
There has been a number, there hasn't been a amount affixed to it. So I'm trying to discover, is there an agreement on the amount of the PR bond? And of course, the fees are going to be waived.
You can put any.
Okay, well, but what amount you want?
$20,000.
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay. All right, then in each of those cause numbers for that defendant, the court will sign the orders.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dean, here's for Mr. Vallejo. All right, the next person we have on the docket is 2022 W-0399, N. Ray Abbott Reyes. State, are you ready to proceed on that application?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the dates are in order?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense? It's Abbott Reyes.
Okay. So in 2022 W-0399, we have filed an application seeking for a writ of habeas corpus for Mr. Albert Reyes. We affixed to that application affidavit that contains a screenshot from Bexar County's own dashboard, which together would attest and show that Mr. Reyes has been held in excess of 10 days from the warrant on a warrant issued by Uvalde County for possession of marijuana. It's supposed to be misdemeanor. And he also has been remanded without warrant. However, because he has been held here in excess of 10 days based solely on that warrant, we would respectfully request that he be granted release on a PR bond.
All right, and Ms. Onkefer, is he still at the Bexar County Jail or has he been released?
As of this moment, I'm not sure. I believe that he was to be picked up. Currently, that could have transpired at any moment.
All right, and with regards to that granting of a PR bond, is there a specific amount that parties agree on?
$1,000.
I think that's.
All right, that'll be granted. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, the next we have is 2022 W-0400, ex parte Edgar Vasquez. Defense?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Vasquez has been free and clear of all Bear County holds since at least August the tenth. We filed an application for him on August the 23rd. So that application, we fixed an affidavit that contains a screenshot from Bear County's own dashboards, which together would attest and show that Mr. Vasquez is being held on warrant for a charge associated with failure to notify. USCO failure to notify. I'm not sure what that is. It is listed as a felony. Now pending in Uvalde County trial number CR 2022-001, for which his bond is currently set at.
See, I try to tell my students, we learn something new every day. That's why you should always have your code. So I'm gonna look that one up in the code.
Yeah.
Ms. Onkerford, is Mr. Vasquez still in custody in Bear County?
I was told that that they were picked up yesterday afternoon. But I agree with Dean, in case he's not, the state does agree that he has been in the Bear County Jail on his out-of-county warrant alone in excess of 10 days.
Right, Dean. And this previous bond has been set at $10,000. Any objection from the state or the defense?
No objection from the state.
All right, the next case we have is 2022 W0401, ex parte Jonathan Mark Ferguson, defense.
He has been released, Your Honor. That one I can verify, so we'll simply withdraw that.
Okay.
And in fact, I think the rest of them have. I think we got the two that were still listed as in custody were Mr. Vasquez and Mr. Vallejo Gutierrez. So without wanting to waste the court's time.
Oh, it is never a waste. It's always a joy to see people, and I haven't seen Ms. Onkerford in a while. All right, and so the next case is 2022 W0402, ex parte Britannia Lee Rosas, AKA Carmel. Defense, has this person been released as well?
She has, Your Honor.
And are you withdrawing the writ?
We will withdraw.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming in, Ms. Onkerford.
Anytime. Y'all have a wonderful day.
All right, you too. Here you go.
It's always a pleasure, Judge.
Oh, you
Thank so
too.
much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Judge President will be back until September 7th.
Okay.
Depending on who's alternate.
Oh, well, come on down. You know, I love putting things on the record. See, so now if one of those persons says he never presented, you can say, yes, I did. And here's the record.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Yes,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
He says the co-defendant's case has already been dismissed. Cheryl Cooper.
All right, who's here on David Gallegos?
Curious, and she was the one carrying in the laptop.
And Mr. Gallegos, if you'll come forward, please.
Don't know.
Okay, well, we have to wait till he comes.
Set it for a couple of weeks so you can go through it.
Okay. We should have asked them if
I
their
just wanted to
client
say,
is in
if you wanted off
custody and
from
tell them
her,
they're
you
not
take it
ready if their
today.
client is not out. All right, thanks. All right, who's here for Kayla Connor? All right, Brenda, you're ready?
In the case with two files, there's.
Court is calling 2022 CR 0841C, State of Texas versus Kayla Connor. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michael Villarreal.
for the defense? Right. And Miss Connor, you need to come forward. Are you Kayla Connor? All right, you entered a plea on June 1st. According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. Who was the person who took this plea? Okay. All right. For the record, the court has reviewed the stipulations and the court is finding there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court is will not find you guilty as you apply for deferred adjudication. How did she enter her plea? Was it guilty, not guilty, or no contest? All right. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense?
Sorry.
Any objections to the PSI report?
Not for the state.
No, there's no objection, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, she's starting to get back on the feet and I think she's doing that well. She got kind of mixed up with this group of people here and
she's now with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's family, and they have 2 children together, and she's expecting again in December. So we're hoping that the court follows the recommendation now.
All right. So is there anything you wish to say, Ms. Connor? All right, you're gonna have to speak up.
No, ma'am.
All right, can I have you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. So where is Alexander White, your child?
That is not my child. That was my ex-boyfriend's son. He was taken by the state back last year sometime, so I'm not aware. I haven't had any contact with him.
How many children do you have?
I have 3 of my own and 4, including this one.
Okay, and where were your children during this beating of a child with your ex-boyfriend?
They were in the
It seems
room
like
with
it
me.
might be a good case for deferred. This is first.
It happened and he had his own, him and I worked together when this happened in the apartment. We
Mhm.
hadn't started dating yet.
Mhm.
And
we've never
I
been
was
arrested
in the room dealing with my children and he was doing his
For
own
the-
thing with his child.
So did you start dating after this?
Yeah.
Why would you start dating someone?
I wasn't aware
No,
that he was,
listen to my question. Why would you start dating someone who's abusive to their child?
because I wasn't aware of the extent. He was telling me one thing, that it was just a simple spanking. I was not aware of how he was actually handling his child. I had just met him at the time of this happening.
I'm sorry, what?
I had just met him at the time of this happening.
Mhm.
We hadn't even known each other. I don't even think a month.
So you hadn't known each other a month when this happened.
He was my uncle's brother, so I
Okay.
figured he would be somebody I'd be able to trust, considering my adoptive uncle. I've known him for a while. I didn't think anything harmful of the situation.
Just very, very briefly. add
Yes.
something. There are 3 co-defendants here, and one is Brandon White, one is Alexander White, and the other is Kayla White. So there's another Kayla. This is Kayla Connor. The others are charged with injury to a child, and Ms. Connor is charged with violation. So I
Okay.
just want to make sure, because I got kind of confused.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But I will tell you what it never ceases to amaze me. And I never understand why people who have children get involved so easily with other people. I never understood that. Now, what she's telling me is she knew him for a month and this had happened. And how old was the complainant?
At that time, it was
Somewhere 11, somewhere around there.
in 10, 11.
The fact that you don't know what's going on with somebody that you're dating or you dated after the fact tells me that you're not thinking with a straight head. Are you employed?
Um,
And how many children do you have?
I agree.
All right. So you have 3 children, a baby on the way, and you're not employed. That's a problem. Because what ends up happening, and I've seen it, is you depend on somebody else for financial support. People are just having children all over the place and they're not financially supporting them. And they're going from one boyfriend to the next boyfriend. And I tell people all the time, there are maybe some great guys out there. There may be some great women out there. And I love children, but children are baggage. You need to consider every child you have a suitcase, and it's a heavy suitcase. And you got to ask yourself, the person I'm getting with, do they really want to carry these suitcases with me? And it's not like at the airport where you can put them in a cart. It's you dragging a suitcase, and it's the old fashioned suitcase. It's not the type with the wheels. It's somebody picking those suitcases up and handling them with care. And usually what ends up happening is, and you know this, counsel, because you've done CPS cases, you end up with some random guy who you think is this great guy. Y'all decide to have another child. The child that's biologically his, he treats great. The other children get the shaft. So I hope that you're not going from boyfriend to boyfriend and putting all these random people in your children's life. But you need to get a job, because who's supporting you?
The man I'm with right now.
Yeah. And so now you're dependent on him to support you, to support your children, to keep a roof over your head. And I hope you're not letting him be in charge of disciplining children that are not his biological children.
They are his biological children. I got that from their father.
So you're just moving from person to person. You're with this other boyfriend and now you're with him?
No, we ended up getting back together.
If you're drug tested, what are the results going to be?
I should come clean.
I'm sorry, what?
That I should be clean. I haven't been smoking or anything.
When's the last time you smoked?
Month and a half ago, 2 months ago,
And how far along are you?
4 months.
So you're smoking while you're pregnant.
I didn't know I was pregnant at the time, ma'am.
You don't know you're pregnant in 2 months?
No, I still had my period and everything. I was not aware.
Okay. Probation, I apologize. But you know, they're going to be field visits. So they've agreed to your application for deferred adjudication. I mean, if I could make it so you not have a boyfriend in your life, I would, but I can't do that. I'm hoping that you're protecting your children. I'm hoping that people will learn that they need to be financially responsible for their children, because when they're not, the people who are financially responsible are the taxpayers. I love children. I don't have any children, but I can't tell you the number of children I've paid for a babysitter through taxes. I paid for their daycare through the taxes. But people need to start taking care of their children financially, and people need to start making great decisions for their children, because guess what? None of your children can take care of themselves. You can't send them to Travis Park and say good luck to you, and you keep bringing these random people in. So this is what the court is going to do. The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. You pled as a co-defendant to Brandon White, Christopher White, and Kayla White. There's to be no contact with Brandon White, Christopher White, Kayla White. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. There's 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you get it or if you've already had it, 40 of those hours be waived. There's going to be parenting classes, and that'll be the triple T. Remaining of the community service hours will be waived upon completion of those classes. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be field visits 3 times per month. Please tell probation to check on the children. There's to be random UAs. And please have her tested today for levels. Proof of employment. How old are your other children?
My oldest is 3 and my boys are 1.5 years.
So you're doing stair steppers, as my grandmother would say, like you're going down the steps. 3, 2, 1, baby. So where are your children now?
At home,
Who's watching them?
their father,
What does he do for a living?
he's an HVAC technician.
What does that mean?
He works on AC units.
What are his hours?
They range.
All right, we're going to do proof of employment within 3 months. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. I do believe, I hope I'm right in believing that you love your children. If you love your children, you know, you've got to be their number one protector and look out for them. And you can't have random people looking out for them. Now, I don't know what happened between you and the relationship and the father of your children that caused you all to break up. But what I do know, if that hasn't been addressed, guess what? You're back in a relationship with the same problems you had before. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome. Thank you. All right, good. Always good seeing you. All right. It has. Don't be a stranger. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2957, State of Texas versus Alfonso Diaz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Rain for the defendant.
And where's Diaz?
He's in custody. I believe we've got an agreement.
Oh,
In the middle, sir.
are you Alfonso Diaz?
Make sure you speak up so the judge can hear you. You've got a mask on, okay?
Thank you for that.
Always do that,
Yeah.
Judge. Looking out for the judge and the court reporter.
I appreciate it. Mr. Diaz, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Alfonso Ruben Diaz who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 2957 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on December 8, 2021 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Condition number 1, on or about the 14th day of March 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Alfonso Ruben Diaz committed the offense of possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the others.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge, we are asking that you deny the motion, that you alter and amend to order a referral to a felony drug court. We're asking that if he is not, I guess, allowed into felony drug court, that he be ordered to status instead. We're also asking that he stay in custody until one of those two things happen. We've agreed to TIC cause number 2022 CR 5060.
Is that an agreement?
Your Honor, that is the agreement with one exception. In addition, and this is not something I normally ask the court to do, is impose additional conditions on a client. But Mr. Diaz is motivated to seek treatment for anger management.
Okay. All right, Mr. Diaz, is that's your agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
You're asking the court to follow it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court is finding violation of condition number 1 true. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include a referral to felony drug court, a new TAP evaluation if one is needed. That's to take place while you're in custody. Because it is Thursday, felony drug court will probably interview you next week, but it won't be 3 weeks or anything like that. They'll get to you next week. If you're not accepted to felony drug court, then you're going to go to SATF or either ISF cognitive substantive, and that will handle the anger management issues. So first felony drug court, if not felony drug court, then let's see which is the shortest time, either for him to get to SATF or either to ISF. I'm going to take in consideration 2022 CR 5060. I'm going to order anger management, but if you're accepted into felony drug court, and you probably will be, if you're honest with them, they will take care of the anger management and all other conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No.
All right, we can go off the record. So who's in your life helping you be sober?
My mom and my grandma.
Your Honor, they're present in the courtroom in the back. Would you all stand up, please? I think his mother stepped out. Oh, there she is.
Okay. All right. Thank you all for showing up. All right. So here's the thing about moms and grandmothers. Moms and grandmothers, obviously your mom loves you. Your grandmother loves you. You're going to have to start doing better for them. And I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody who comes in here, who stays with their mom and their grandmother. You got to follow their rules. Until you get your own place, you got to follow their rules. So if they have a curfew for you, then you stick by that curfew. If they want the TV off at 10, you have the TV off at 10. A lot of people don't still have their moms and their grandmothers. You do. So you're going to have to start doing better. And here's the thing about the 187 District Court. If you have a problem and if you see you're going to use, pick up the phone, call somebody. Don't just automatically let me use. Your first step and everything you should think about is, let me call somebody for help. You understand? All right. So what's up with all the tattoos? What do they mean? Somebody did some good work.
It's just the Halloween theme I was going for.
Okay.
I like Halloween.
All right. Well, I mean, those are some nice tattoos. Usually people have a bunch of tattoos that they regret. All right. Do better for your mom and grandmother. Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Just have a seat and I'll be with you in just a moment.
And they've done
May I
it.
be excused?
Yes. All right. Who's here for Malik Lampkin?
I am, Your Honor.
Yes.
Judge Blake's here. I wanted to.
Oh, have him come up.
Lampkin.
Brenda, do you see what page Mr. Lampkin is? All right. Thank you. All right. Have you conferred with the state?
I have, Your Honor.
All right. Conferred with the client?
I have, wanted to let the court know, I'm going to be filing some motions to have Mr. Lampkin mentally evaluated.
Okay.
And wanted the court to be aware of that. And Mr. Lampkin, I discussed that with him.
All right. When are you following that?
Either today or tomorrow. We'll disclose the judge.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lampkin, we're going to see you back, Ms. Ferguson. Can I have a reset date on Mr. Lampkin? 30 days?
And there was one thing I wanted to address with the court.
Just one moment. All right, so we're going to come back on September 29th, Mr. Lampkin. Yes.
He's being held right now, I believe, in a unit where it's a psychological unit or something to that effect. Is that right? Suicide watch kind of thing. And he's been unable to brush his teeth since he's been arrested. He's been in there for about 3 weeks. And I thought that would be something I wanted to bring to your attention on what can be done about that.
All right. Well, they always say that bad dental hygiene causes other problems. Deputy Laura, Deputy Mejia, is there anything I need to do to make sure that he's allowed to brush his teeth?
Notify the officer in the mental health unit.
All right. Because I've had patients, well, I say I've had clients who've been in the mental health unit, and usually they allow them to shower, to take care of personal hygiene issues.
That's why I'm
But
bringing it up to you,
yes.
Judge.
But they do have to ask. So, Mr. Lampkin, you'll have to ask for it. And if they don't give it to you, your attorney will let me know and I'll take care of it. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, big excuse, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. Wait, yes.
Yeah, we don't do those on.
No,
Thurs,
no.
especially if it's withdrawn.
Yeah, yes, no, yeah, yes.
I just wanted to double check.
Okay, I was like, why do I have this? All right, who's here on, okay, who's here on Albert Aguirre?
I am good. We're ready.
All right, Albert or Gary, come forward. Court is calling 2020 CR 4627, State of Texas versus Albert or Gary. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Andrew Priest for the defense.
All right, and are you Albert or Gary?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, Mr. Gary, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Are you the same Albert or Gary who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 4627 for the offense of assault family second offense on August 26, 2020 for a period of 3 years? Is that you? State?
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Albert Aguirre did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of June 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? I'm sorry?
True, ma'am.
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Albert Aguirre did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of May 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
So the state would waive and abandon the meeting.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation 5 and 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 5 and 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there, the court then will find 5 and 5 true? Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is to grant the state's motion, enter adjudication of guilt, and assess punishment of 2 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. There'd be an affirmative finding of family violence, and the state is going to take into consideration CM cause number 98498, which was the new number 1 that was alleged in the original MTR.
All right, is that the agreement?
No, it's our agreement, Your Honor.
Mr. Aguirre, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will find 5 and 5 true, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you to 2 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, taking into consideration CM 98498. There's to be no contact with Veronica Casillas and no unsupervised contact with any minors. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
They are.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, and because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. I see that I've given you chance after chance to complete this probation. So the fact that you're going to prison, that's your choice, because you wouldn't do what was required of you, and it was real simple. So I suggest that when you go to prison, you regroup, you find out why you're in prison, and doing an internal evaluation of yourself. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And whatever anger issues you have, you need to correct them at the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do not bring any trouble to any female's doorstep by getting involved with them until you take care of yourself. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'm going to tell you what I tell other people. Get an orchid. You know my orchid story, right? Get an orchid. They are on sale at different stores. It comes to you beautiful. It's in full bloom. When you get that orchid, wait till the blooms fall off. You're not ready for a relationship until you can get that orchid to bloom again. Do you understand? And I say that because orchids take patience. You cannot move them around. Sometimes they like sunlight, sometimes they don't like sunlight. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, who is here on Angel Cantu?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. If I could have parties approach. Court is calling 2022 CR 1107 State of Texas versus Angel Cantu. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michael Villarreal for the state.
for the defense?
A Boston Major for the defendant.
All right. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I mean, he's bringing shame to some people. Hey, it's not you, Mr. Villarreal. You always dress to impress.
I know I'm not dressed the best today, Judge, but I'm trying.
No. All right. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Did you review that discovery with your client, and have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Cantu, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, the state's just proceeding on count 1 and waiving and banning count 2.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Cantu, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with is indecency with a child contact as a second-degree felony? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Cantu, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 1. There's a $1,500 fine. And Brent, I'm sorry. I realize I'm talking very fast. All right. So, that's just me warming you up. But now I'm about to slow it down.
Go do slow.
I'm not going to be like the turtle on the cartoon where he's talking very slow. All right. The state recommends deferred adjudication, Chapter 62 compliance, and there's to be no contact with the complainant. Do you understand that? Is that the plea bargain agreement defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 10 years and there be sex offender supervision. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense is charged in count 1. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, state offers states exhibit number 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Cantu, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
State would waive PSI.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll proceed.
All right. And I'm assuming the complainant in this case is aware of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we spoke with mom this morning, and she's understanding and agrees with the state's recommendations.
Okay. All right, anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Angel Cantu, he is severely autistic. His autism was not diagnosed early in his life, and I think that's kind of the root of some of his issues. He is diagnosed bipolar. He's 100% on disability, Your Honor. He's only made it to the 9th grade. His great-grandparents and grandparents are here today supporting him. That's his support system that is going to help guide him should the court accept the plea agreement.
Okay. How old is his great grandparents?
I'm not sure how old they are, Your Honor, but they're present.
82.
Are you all ready to take this on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure they're ready to take things on with you. All right, now I understand the agreement. All right, Mr. Cantu, here's the thing. I understand that everybody has issues in their life, but you're gonna have to work hard not to have anything like this occur again. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you have your great grandparents here, which is unusual. Usually people don't have their great grandparents. So I'm sure you've heard what I've told everybody else. When you live with your great grandparents, their rules go.
Yes, ma'am.
And did they dress you for court this morning? Tell you what to wear?
They provided.
Good job, great grandparents. They did an excellent job. All right, so I take back what I said about everybody else because his grandparents helped him, his great grandparents. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 10 years deferred adjudication. Probation, is Mick available for him based upon what he's charged with or no?
I'll have to double check, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see if the Mick supervision, not really supervision, but I want to make sure they're aware of his mental health issues.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm going to put Mick on here, but I realize he's going to be supervised by the sex offender unit. I just want to make sure that they are aware. So we're going to do Mick and the sex offender unit for supervision. There's to be no contact with the complainant. And I'm not going to say the name on the record, but that's the person who's in the indictment. And I believe you know who the complainant is.
Yes, sir.
There is to be a $1,500 fine that will be probated. So that means that if you successfully complete everything, you won't have to pay that. There's Chapter 62 registration. There is going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So if it's some reason you can't Zoom, which they're probably going to want you to be in person, just speak with them and they'll go over that with you, okay? There's going to be regular UAs. Are we going to have any drug issues with you?
No.
Okay.
Just his prescriptions, Your Honor. But
Okay.
they're prescribed.
Make sure that you give probation your prescription medication as far as the list of everything that you're taking and provide proof.
Yes.
All right, and I'm going to want proof of employment or proof of disability. So if you provide the proof of the disability, then you won't have to get employment, but I'm going to give you 30 days to get that to probation. So great grandparents, he needs to provide them proof that he is disabled, and he needs to give that to probation. And he also needs to give a list of his prescriptions to probation. So proof of disability, and I'm going to require him to reside with your grandparents, okay? So I'll put you to reside with the great grandparents or grandparents, since you have both here. Is there anything else that he needs? Oh, I'm going to do field visits. And that'll be 2 times per month. I'm not going to add community service hours because there are no community service hours for him. All right, probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, is there anything else you need from the court? All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. It's going to be very important that you stay in contact with probation, okay? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome. All right, and who is the officers who are here? All right, can you mute me and All right, the party's on Danny Machado or Machado. Where's Mr. Machado?
Been there a second ago. Judge.
Brenda, do you see which page Mr. Machado is on? Thank you. All right, what is happening with Mr. Machado?
Judge, we were talking about an offer and then it turned out that they may be investigating in the UK. Sealed or something, so it may change the offer, so we have to reconsider. They want me to bring a thumb drive to get the documentation that's on post on.
All right. All right, I'm gonna give you a 30-day reset.
We have a vacation notice from 9 to 27 next month.
Okay. All right, we'll put you on the 29th. And I'll give you a reset form. And that will be your plea deadline date. So you all will need to confer off docket. Oh, I'm going to give you your reset form. And then once he signs that, you're excused.
Jordan Brown sitting in the audience.
Here you go,
I wish he was on.
Mr. Piker. You're welcome. All right, who are the parties on John Bueno? All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 8206, State of Texas versus John Bueno. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record?
Jordan Brown to the state.
All right, Jordan Brown.
I apologize for my appearance, Judge. I was drafted into service today, and so my slovenly dressed down appearance was in the.
Oh, well, welcome. My mom will be happy to see you.
Well, hello, good to see you as well, Judge.
All right, you too. All right, Mr. Bueno, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same John Henry Bueno who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 8206 for the offense of attempted online solicitation of a minor sexual contact on September 8, 2021 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
State?
Did you want to bring up your issue?
Judge, if I can,
All right.
I'm asking for a couple week reset on this matter. He has some issues on the side that he has to deal with. We have a tentative agreement, Judge, but he needs to talk to his family first. He's been in custody for about a couple weeks. And he has a scheduled visit with his sister, and he just needs to talk to them before going forward on this.
How old are you?
49, ma'am.
I'm sorry, 49?
Yes, ma'am.
What is he talking to his family about?
It's about his personal belongings after he turned himself in. He was getting evicted from a house, and he's worried about his belongings.
All right, what does his personal belongings have to do with whether or not we proceed on this case? I don't understand.
I guess his concern is not being able to resolve that before whatever the court does happens, and I'm deferring to the court.
Yeah.
And defense told me, I guess as we were waiting, this situation developed, he let me know, but the court obviously called this up right after that before he could talk to the clerk and address the court before the hearing was called. So I have no position on it, whatever the court wants to do.
I mean, if we were to handle this now, and I don't know what agreement there would be, why would he not be in custody? Is there something that you all agreed on where he won't be at the Bear County Jail? Because I mean, whether, if he's still at the Bear County Jail next week, then his sister will see him next week because he's still there. And if you all were to agree to a prison term, which I don't know if that's the agreement or not, they're not picking people up the very next week. So I don't understand.
I think he needs some time to think about, the offer that was made by the state.
Okay, so has an offer been tendered?
An offer has been tendered. I am not the designated attorney on this case. I informed defense I would note the offer and it would be up to the assigned attorney whether to honor it or not.
All right, then we're going to recall this. When is your sister coming to see you?
26.
The 26th? All right. So we will recall this on the 29th. Is that enough time? All right, so we're going to recall on September 29th.
August.
I'm sorry. You're right, August 29th. Thank you. I was, you know what? I'm testing Jordan to see if he's still the same Jordan I know, and he is. All right, we're going to be back on Monday, August 29th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You too.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good one.
Welcome, you too. Bye-bye. No, he's in custody. All right, who's here on David Gallegos? Yes, and where's Mr. Gallegos? All right, Mr. Gallegos, come on up. All right, what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, I just received notice that Mr. Gallegos was indicted on these two cases. When I was initially appointed on these cases, they were third-degree felonies.
Mhm.
He was indicted as a first-degree habitual, 25 to life.
Mhm.
At this time, I'm not on the first-degree wheel for first-degree felonies. I contacted Norma. She put him on the docket today, so we approached the court, see if the court would appoint a new attorney that is on that first-degree wheel. I explained the situation to Mr. Gallegos. He has no objection. And I think would ask the court to appoint an attorney that is on the first degree.
Okay, all right. So, and you're appointed, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to go on the record briefly. Court is calling 2022 CR 7880 and 2022 CR 7372, State of Texas versus David Gallegos. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michelle Hayden for the state.
for the defense?
Andrew Priest for the defense.
And are you Mr. Gallegos? All right, off the record, we had a discussion with regards to the range of punishment for the offenses that you're charged with. And I was informed by your counsel that the range of punishment for these offenses is at the first degree level, even though with habituals, your minimum is 25 years, that he is not on the list to receive those type of cases. So state, is there any objection to the defense's oral motion to withdraw?
No objection.
All right, and Mr. Gallegos, do you have any objections to your attorney withdrawing?
Okay, I understand what he was about the not being in the bill, but what am I supposed to say?
No. Here's the thing. He's not on the list to be appointed to cases that are on your level. So he is asking to withdraw.
Okay.
All
that's
right.
fine.
So you have no objection with that.
Okay, I don't have no objection.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then you are removed.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May I be excused?
Yes, you may be excused. All right, just have a seat in the box and we'll see if we can find an attorney for you. Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Hello. Are you on the first degree list?
Ma'am.
All right, are you available to take an appointment?
Sure, I'm here for the thing I talked to you about yesterday.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Alexander is going to be on David Gallegos. Yes.
To what? On paper.
All right, I need a 30-day reset on Gallegos.
I can do September 29th.
Okay. Mr. Gallegos, I'm going to give you a chance to speak with your attorney, Mr. Alexander, and have your previous attorney speak with him as well. But Mr. Alexander, we're going to bring him back on September 29th, but if you could make sure that you just speak with the state before. But September 29th.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello.
Whoa, Michael doesn't talk to you about Samantha Richards.
All right, I will take you in the order in which you'll appear, so just give me a moment.
All right.
Thank you. Robert McNeil. Hello, what is happening with this case?
Today's a plea deadline, Your Honor. We're
Yes.
asking for a trial setting. We've gotten an offer from the state.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial setting on Robert McNeil, please? So, Mr. McNeil, are you rejecting the state's offer? And are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes.
All right, your plea deadline date has expired. What that means is that the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case. The court will only accept plea bargains that are either open to the court. If you wish to enter a plea bargain agreement on the record, then the court will only consider that with good cause. You understand? All right, we'll see you back on September 20th for your jury trial. And that you'll need to be here at 9 a.m. And you'll get a reset form. All right, thank you. Samantha Richards.
Is it afternoon yet?
No, not till, they usually say afternoon doesn't start till 12. Now, you do have this little sweet spot. I don't know if you call it a sweet spot, but there's a little question between afternoon, like does it end at 6 p.m.? Does it end at 5? So it's always strange to put good afternoon and it's 5 p.m.
Depends on whose court you're in, how far afternoon goes.
Yeah. All right, what is happening with this case?
Judge, it's 3 co-defendants. We have received a statement from one of the co-defendants that is possibly, I don't want to say changing the outcome of the other co-defendants, but it seems just one of the co-defendants is potentially taking responsibility. And so I'm conferring with the defense attorney on that case.
Are all of them set on the same day or no?
They are.
Okay.
All of them are set today, and all 3 attorneys are here right now.
Okay, so who are the other attorneys and have you already conferred with all of them?
I've conferred with Joe Stenberg and John Kuntz, and I've been talking with John Kuntz potentially for a resolution of this case, of his client's cases.
All right, so has all the discovery been tendered?
I believe that it has.
I believe it has. For me, at least.
Has an offer been tendered or no?
Not at this point, Judge. It's going to depend on potentially one of the co-defendants taking responsibility.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a 30-day reset. You all are going to have to confer off docket with regards to whatever plea may or may not be entered and what may or may not happen. Ms. Ferguson, can I get a 30-day reset on Samantha Richards for a plea deadline, please? All right, so September 29th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, just get a reset form from Ms. Ferguson.
You're right.
Robert McNeil. They're not here. So they're not ready. Yes.
I've already talked to him. Yes, I've already started. So can I have? Yellow, what can you do approach on yellow line? Yes, and yeah, they're all on today's stock. Okay. So you got them alphabetically and then, okay, let's start with Strata. Yellow line. Elite Strata. Oh, that's the file that wasn't on the docket. It's on the computer, but not on the docket. So you may need to pull it from the back. Omar Colunga. And Sean Foster. Oh, and then I got one more. Foster and Amber Jack. I think that all those things.
No.
Not at once, but in order.
And on Mr. Curtis, you'll need to have your witnesses on that day. On Mr. Curtis, you need to have your witnesses on that day.
Yes, ma'am. I've already started the subpoena process.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And on this, just give me a moment. I need to.
Yes, ma'am.
There it is. Hey, John, this is a letter that my client just gave me. It's purportedly from the female complainant. Basically, at one point, I think on page 3, stating that she didn't want to prosecute anything. Okay.
Yeah, he'll need to be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I have another question.
Hi, John. Those are my cases for today in here. There's only 12 files. Hopefully Labor Day. We're having lunch today. So good.
So there's only one swing. So we want to just try to judge this one. So it's.
And then the sentencing is October.
What
about Leroy? Leroy, I saw him on our calendar. Is that probably gonna happen on that day or
It's
is
gonna
it?
happen. So, and Russ is only recommending 60 months. And so I spoke to Leroy's mom and Leroy last week.
I'll handle that part. I'll work on that part.
Yeah, it'll be very spacious.
Yeah.
It is really.
Deputy Laura.
46 months. So. It does. And so the reason Russ either reset Russ.
All right, Donald Gilliland.
I'm probably judge. I think he's in the back, but I can address, this is the individual that I was
Yes.
appointed on today. I've conferred with Mr. Gilliland and I've spoken to the state, this gentleman, and he's going to review the files on his end. I'm going to meet with Mr. Gilliland and let Mr. Gilliland hasn't had a chance yet to see his police reports or his body cameras. So I'm going to address that as well. If we can get perhaps 45 days. I think that should give everybody enough, and then we're gonna confer. And I've made him a plea offer, so he's gonna see if he wants to counter or accept my plea offer.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, and you know I normally don't do this. I'm gonna give you guys a 45-day reset. You all need to work off docket. And I know you've just been appointed, but this case has been around for a while.
I'm gonna work diligently. We're
All
gonna
right.
get it done.
So, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset on Gilliland. And that will be your guys' plea deadline date. We'll see where we are.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, October 13th.
And if he accepts my plea bargain offer, I'll let Norman know. We'll come before then, because my client's jonesing to get out. So
Okay,
that's a legal term, jonesing.
don't put that on the record, Brenda.
It's Latin for really anxious. Thank you.
You got it. All right, thank you very much.
What's this? All right, Omar Kalunga.
Yes, he's still in the back. He's the parole individual. We're just
Yes.
following up on.
All right, so on this case, this is what has happened. I actually was able to find a hearings officer who was still there when I was there. And so I sent a request. They do have the audio. They keep the audios for 10 years from the hearing. And so I sent a request, and I'm gonna give you both the email address so that you all will have it
Thank you.
if this occurs again.
Thank you.
So the person I spoke to informed me that all we needed to do was send the email. The email goes to the state board, and then they will send it to him saying he can release it. So he said it'd be done very quickly, and he said he'll already pull it for us beforehand so that he'll be able to send it.
So have you already sent the email requesting it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I requested him to send us an email either by, to send it to us either by email or mail, whichever is easiest. So that's where we are. So Ms. Ferguson, on Kalunga, on this one, what we're going to do is I'm inclined to put this for October 13th as well with Mr. Gilliland. The reason being because
Just check one thing.
you're already down for the 13th.
Yeah, I know. I just, could we do the 12th? Can I move it from the 13th to the 12th?
You mean Gilliland to the 12th?
Yes. Well, no, leave Gilliland 13th. Kelly can handle that.
Okay.
But can we do Kalunga on the 12th? I'd like to be here for Kalunga.
Yes.
Okay, 'cause I won't be here on the 13th.
All right.
Kelly, if I don't get, I think I'm a Gilliland flood before that.
Okay. All right. So on Kalunga, we're going to bring it back for October 12th. However, if I get the information before then, of course, I'll notify you all. Right.
Okay. If it goes as I hope it does, it maybe will move the needle, they say. Another legal term.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Kalunga, I contacted the parole, so we now know where we need to be in order to get the information from you, for you. So we're going to come back on October 12th. I may have the information before then. As soon as I get it, I'm going to send it to your counsel in the state. So we're going to come back on October 12th.
No, for sure, the recording is there. Send it to her. She's gonna get it to us. He's gonna listen to it. If it's as we hope it is, maybe that'll change things, and then I'll be in touch with you.
All right. And just so everyone knows, I am not going to listen to the email or anything of that nature, once I receive it, I'm just going to send it to you all. So I won't have viewed it because people may have objections to it. Okay.
God bless you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, Deputy Laura, and Deputy Mejia, we're finished with Mr. Kalunga.
Yeah, but I didn't make that, so I got rescheduled. I think I rescheduled to today. No, I know that. Okay, so we're good, but they have the report. All right, thank you.
All right, Sean Foster.
Mr. Foster. Judge, if I may, this is the individual I spoke to you about yesterday. I conferred with Marcus. He's not in opposition to giving Mr. Foster an additional 30 days to turn himself in. So that's what we're asking the court to do.
All right, Mr. Foster, shorts are not allowed.
I had this discussion with him. That's why he's been waiting outside until crunch time.
I hadn't made it home.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Foster, I see that the state has no objection to you getting a reset, and I see that you've appeared always. So here's the thing, if you do not appear, then you know the full range of punishment is going to be open. All right. So what are you doing? What do you need the extra time for? You're whispering.
You get school clothes and that stuff of that nature.
All right, you should have got those when there was a tax-free day. Now you're going to spend extra.
He's struggling.
Yeah, but there may be some clearance sales. There usually is. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Foster? All right, we're going to come back on September 29th. That's your day, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. We can be excused.
Yes.
Thank
Oh, he needs to get a reset
Oh,
form.
I'm sorry. Don't leave, Sean. We'll sign a paper. Thank you, Judge. You don't remember anything at all about his brother saying, hey, my brother do with this or anything? That guy was the driver. I don't.
Exactly. I would love to.
All right, Amber Grant. Brenda, do you see what page Miss Amber Grant?
Page 7.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Miss Grant, how are you doing? All right, so why were you late today? All right, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you the speech, what I tell everybody else, because I see this is your first time here. You've got to make arrangements so that you can be here on time. Because what ends up happening is when you don't show, sometimes you may end up with a warrant for your arrest. Okay. All right, so what is happening with this case?
I've conferred with the state on Ms. Grant's case, and it is her first setting. I'd like to get moved to the next setting. So Ms. Grant and I can discuss the state's offer, and then I can discuss with the state perhaps the counter offer.
All right, do you have all the discovery?
As far as I know of, yes.
All right. Are you able to put this on the, are you able to be here on the 29th? Ms. Ferguson, can we put Ms. Grant on the 29th? You're already here for Mr. Foster.
Yes, Judge, I'm here. We will be available on the 29th.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you put Amber Grant for the 29th? Okay, they're gonna give you a reset form, okay? Were those tattoos painful? I always gotta ask. They were not? Okay, all right. People say that, Brenna, I don't know if they've just decided to, forgotten to pay.
childbirth.
It's like childbirth. Okay. All right, Malik Estrada.
He's not present, Judge. He's the individual that's on the docket, but somehow he's on the computer for today, but not on the printed docket for today.
All
So
right,
you asked me to get your file and the state's file, and I've done that, and I can address that. Right now.
okay.
I conferred with Marcus on Mr. Estrada. I'm gonna meet with Mr. I'm gonna meet with Mr. Estrada to discuss Marcus's take on his case, and then,
All right, is he in custody?
yes,
All right, so are you able to, can we just put this on the 29th as well?
yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, he's, for some reason, he didn't make the docket. But it's Malik Estrada, 2022 CR 6944. So we'll come back on the 29th.
So there's a story for that. Oh, nice to see what they do. I don't want that.
I think that's everyone I have, Judge.
All right, well, we hope so. Yeah,
Sure, I'll see you tomorrow.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Who's here on Paul Vasquez Jr.?
Marcus, go to the back or something.
All right, Brenda, you ready? Court is calling 2022 CR 5352, State of Texas versus Paul Vasquez Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Daniel Escobar, State of Texas.
for the defense?
Robert Gaona for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Vasquez Jr.? All right, defense, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, John.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Vasquez, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Good.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
My understanding is that yes, we are proceeding on this.
Yes.
Or.
That's correct.
Oh, did you remember what it was?
I'm sorry.
I need to ask more quickly. There was a motion to amend the indictment because there were some numbers that were missing on the indictment. If you give us just a moment.
Sure.
I'm not sure exactly.
Well, let's see. Was it a number that was missing as it relates to how this becomes a felon? All right, let me see what it is.
I only heard just the general outline of the conversation.
Oh, no problem. Okay. And I'm just reviewing the indictment to see where it is.
Sorry about that, Judge. He wasn't out there.
Okay. I don't see where there's an issue. I mean, the cause number is correct for what enhances it.
He was saying there was a number missing, and then I looked at it after we went through the plea paperwork, and I didn't see it either, so.
Right, I remember he brought this issue up. I just can't.
All right, does somebody want to call him real quick and see what the issue is? Yeah. Yes, it is, but sometimes my vision is not the best. And the date of the sentence is correct. So we shall see.
It is a strange case, there's no question.
Just so everyone is aware, the court is taking its break at noon. Not 12:01, not 12 o'clock and 10 seconds, noon. See, Brenda, I'm doing the hard line. 'Cause otherwise, everybody will miss lunch and then people get hangry. Well, football season is about to start, Brenna. People are getting anxious. What? Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna see what we can do. You know, we're gonna see what we see and do what we do. But you know, I'm starting to pick up tension from people,
It's Florida.
but we're gonna do fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's, as comedians would say, it's not the Florida Gators, it's Florida State. So,
Judge, I did call Marcus twice. He did not answer.
okay. Let me see. Oh, no, there's no need to apologize. But I tell you what, that apology you did was sort of like from the Game of Thrones time. You're like, apologies. All right, let me see. All right, so if you all will step back, I'm gonna see what he says in the text message. And then we'll take it up. Apologies.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you then we're holding that.
All right, who's here on Alejandra Black?
Present, Mayor.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Black?
It's going to be going to a jury trial this week.
All right.
We were okay with bench, but state has insisted upon jury. So I'll be filing my motion for speedy trial this afternoon, just to say there's.
Yeah.
We get front of the on the can jury sometimes.
All right, who's the state? No, on, I'll get you on Vasquez, but on Black.
Yes, sir.
Oh, y'all not doing a bench trial before the court?
No, you are.
Brendan, I'm trying to see if he's gonna change because he hasn't said to my face. All right, where's Mr. Black? All right, if you come forward. Mr. Black, in order to receive a bench trial, the state has to agree to it because a lot of people don't understand the state is entitled to a jury trial as well. So it will have to be a jury trial if that's what you are requesting. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Mr. Black?
Okay, if I check that date, make sure I'm not.
Sure.
This is a weird one. It shows as being on the docket whenever I checked it on the system. They didn't have their file and y'all didn't have your file. So everyone had to track down files on the system. It shows. You said October when? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll do it and see who gets you first. All right, just get your reset form.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we're back on Paul Vasquez.
Not telling me what exactly.
Yeah. We're done with that one.
I blame you.
My fault, I apologize.
Draw.
I'm gonna go hide in my.
All right. This too can be yours.
All right, who's here on OCL Griffin?
That's the judge.
And where is Griffin?
Oh, these are off docket. I just want to withdraw. I just want you to appoint an attorney for this.
Okay, is he in custody? Is he on bond? Okay.
So I'm on the misdemeanor.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be on the felony. Just want you to appoint somebody so I can get off all these things. So it's a second degree, I believe it's an arson.
Mhm.
That
No,
one,
it's a robbery.
robbery, yeah, not the second degree list. So if you're gonna appoint somebody that I can get off the list.
All right, Norma, see who's on the wheel.
Same exact thing for Mr. Mackey. He's got a first degree case. So off from the other ones. So that we can get the. So excellent. Sorry, I don't think this is bad.
Oh, I don't interpret people. And they need an appointment in the system. And so does Mr. Mackey. A date for his next setting.
Mr. Mackey is in custody. That's gonna be a public integrity. The first degree is public integrity.
Okay.
Are you busy? Are you busy? I gave Caroline a file for a waiver number. Can you go get it from her? Or did she bring it up? Okay.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. Hope you have a
You're
great day.
welcome. Sure, you too. Bye-bye. Yes, and on this as well. And good setting for him.
Well, that himself, party.
Yes.
He's here now.
All right, Paul Vasquez. Is somebody going to step out of the room before we do it? All right. We're back on the record in 2022 CR 5352, State of Texas versus Paul Vasquez Jr. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we'd like to move to amend the indictment. The indictment is missing a number in the prior felony conviction. And so we're asking to amend it, the cause number from 2017 CR 923W to 2017 CR 9223W.
You know what? And I looked at that and I said, oh, no, it's the same. But you know how the eye tricks you and you just add the numbers? All right, any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Vasquez, that's a substantive change to the indictment. Do you have any objections to proceeding with that substantive change? All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand that what you're charged with is felon in possession of a weapon? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him? Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Vasquez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. There are no applications for deferred adjudication. The state recommends community supervision. They will take in consideration 2022 CR 5353, and there's $57 to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement? Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement? State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, and you are in agreement to forfeit and destroy the weapon. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the amended indictment, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, State Offer States Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
No objection.
Mr. Vasquez, I'm showing you what's entitled Wavering Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court is finding there is sufficient evidence to finding you guilty, and the court is finding you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, he wants the court to know that we're sincere about continuing his probation, and we ask the court to accept that. He has brought with him the support system, his sister, and a minister at one of the MLM.
Adelante.
Okay.
Yeah, the program, the New Life Ministry. They seem to have a good program. He said he's worked, known him a long time. Matter of fact, Joe has been a former probation officer, so I think they start, they have all the programs necessary for you.
Well, I'm glad you followed my advice to
Yes, ma'am.
leave here and get help, okay? And I see this happen on Christmas.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good Christmas.
No, it was not.
All right, but here's the thing, Christmas is still coming, a new Christmas is gonna come. You gotta make sure that you're in a better mind frame, okay? All right, are you employed?
Yes.
And what do you do?
I do a lot of, well, my dad owns a car wash, the maintenance work they're making. Electrical is my main option.
Okay,
Yeah. So I do a lot of.
okay.
I want the court to know that there are times they best to travel, but it's on short notice.
No, that'll be fine. He'll have my permission to travel for work. And so you'll just need to call them and let them know that you're traveling for work and just where it's gonna be.
Yes, ma'am.
But I'll give you prior approval for that if there's no objection from the state.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so how often are you seeing someone to help you stay clean and sober?
I do favors for my friends and give them rights and I end up staying there. So, volunteer.
Okay.
It's all volunteer.
Okay, so you're gonna have to start doing that on a regular basis because I'm gonna order it, okay?
Okay.
All right. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results gonna be? Okay, okay,
Good.
normal as in normal clean
Yeah,
or
yeah,
normal
yeah.
as in normal positive? Okay. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sentence you to 2 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 2 years. I'm gonna do $1,000 fine. That will be probated. Taking consideration 2022 CR 5353. Brenda, is it just me or did it get hot in here all of a sudden? Oh my gosh. That is why I don't like wearing the robe. Well, one of the many reasons for wearing it in here because it's super hot. All right, there's going to be $57 restitution to SAPD, and that's for the drug testing. I'm going to do 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do or you have, provide proof of probation and 40 of those hours will be removed. The weapon is to be destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and do a referral to felony drug court. Just so you can look at their program and see how it is. Felony drug court is an outpatient program, but they'll be able to keep an eye on you. And even though that program is a difficult program, they will allow you to work. You just have to make sure that you let them know. If for some reason he's not accepted in felony drug court, or if you decide not to do felony drug court, then we're going to have to do a TAP evaluation and do intensive outpatient treatment. And with the intensive outpatient treatment, if there's some of the program you're in, they will be accepting of that. So we're going to do a referral to drug court, TAP evaluation, and then intensive outpatient treatment if not accepted with felony drug court. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 20 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. And who are you going to be staying with?
At my house.
I'm sorry?
I'm where I live at, the address is.
Okay. All right. And is that your mom's address?
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to give that address to probation. I'm not going to say it on the
Yeah.
record. Okay. So make sure you follow the rules, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've heard my speech. So if somebody tells you they don't want the TV on at 10 p.m., you got to turn it off.
Right.
And in my day, when we were growing up and somebody tells you to have the TV off at 10, guess what? We couldn't record it. You just missed that program because they didn't have recording at that time. Then when you did get the VCR, it still didn't record. That only came after you spent $600 for a VCR.
Yeah.
Although Brenda and my family, we waited till that VCR was $100. I know that still was expensive, but we didn't pay the $600. All right, so you to reside with your mom, and I'm going to do field visits 2 times per month. And we'll do that for, let's do that for 3 months to see how he is. And then regular UAs. All right, Mr. Vasquez, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Vasquez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the, oh, and I'm sorry, also because this is a felony conviction, which you should know by now, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. I'm gonna ask you again. So were those tattoos painful?
At first, but that used to.
All right, keep the hand part wasn't painful either.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, and you didn't think to stop. You're like, I'm in it. I'm gonna finish it. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Who's here on Jacqueline Wallace? Yes. And where's Miss Wallace?
He's right here in the box.
All right. Let's come on up.
Sorry, but it is not done yet. Rio is done.
All right. Where are we on Miss Wallace?
So between the time that I spoke to Ms. Ferguson and now the prosecution and I are kind of maybe working towards a resolution. So
Okay.
trying to figure it out.
Oh, so do you want,
Few minutes.
okay, sure.
Do you need a few minutes, Michael?
Yeah, please.
Yes. if we
Okay,
can.
sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And who's here on, let's see, where does this come from? Aisha Osborne.
This is my client that I needed to surrender and have her magistrate.
Okay. And have you discussed a bond with the state?
I haven't discussed it. I told her you have questions about criminal history, and I think Michelle's already prepared that.
Okay.
Judge, I don't know anything about the facts of the new case. I did look up the criminal history and it was just dismissed for missing witness, assault, family misdemeanor case. That's all I could find.
Okay. And then anything on this case?
We don't have any information yet. It's not even in our system.
They don't have a case. It basically, PD walked a warrant without submitting a case. So here we are.
All right.
What I can tell you is I've already seen an email from the alleged victim who's already saying not going to cooperate with the state.
All right. And who is the complainant?
Robert Morgan, I believe is the name. Robert Morgan. Robert Morgan.
All right, state, are you prepared to suggest a bond amount?
I mean, it's just without having information, I can't really say if it's more egregious or less egregious than other offenses at the same level, but I mean, my understanding is it's a, third-degree choking case, so.
All right, so here's, what are the possibilities of getting a copy of the police report? And we come back this afternoon.
I don't know if and I don't have any information right now. I don't know if I could get it by this afternoon. Could get it probably by.
My client's prepared to make a $10,000 bond. I could ask there, there's a third degree with no criminal history. I don't want to go in all. Client
Well,
communication.
let me ask you this. Are you able to get the police report?
All I know is the CM number and the plate number, and that's about all I know. Judge. I don't have a PD number or anything. I mean, I don't know if the agency put their case thing on the warrant page or not. Did you see it on? I know we're flying blind.
Yeah, we are. Well, I know you say you can't be back this afternoon, but are you able to do it by Zoom?
Yes and no, because I was supposed to walk her through satellite, set the bond and everything. And it's my son's homesick. I'm supposed to leave my wife.
Okay.
2 in the morning, take the afternoon and take him to the pediatrician.
Okay. Because the only problem is I don't have a police report. I don't have anything. So it's hard for me to agree to a bond or set a bond when, I mean, what I can do, I mean, I have to magistrate her. And then we can come back tomorrow, but
We're trying to avoid her going.
Yeah.
Like full-blown testing.
I mean, with the CM number and the SID, I can try to see what we can find right now, but yeah, I mean, we don't have any information yet.
okay, if you can see if you can find anything.
Okay.
And then Lupe is gonna look and see if he can find something too.
I haven't seen them right on my calendar.
All right, where's Mark Cepeda? He's in the back. Can you have him brought out if possible?
We have him downstairs, Your Honor.
Okay,
He was there requesting.
okay. Oh, his attorney's not here.
No.
But when you get a chance, let's have him either for this afternoon. Let's- I know the issue with that. So let's bring him back at 1:30. Could I see the file on Douglas Marshall? Is there a Douglas Marshall here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thanks. Can you check to see if Douglas Marshall is in custody? He's in federal custody. State, Douglas Marshall, he's in federal custody. Do y'all have an update on him?
I can look into it, Judge, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, this is gonna come back at 1:30. Andrew Priest, did we already take over care of a Gary? Okay, thank you. David Signs. David Signs. Mr. Statesman, are you ready on Brandon Lee Looking Bill?
Marcus.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Ruben Pettis is gonna be 1:30, guys. And is David Signs in custody or on bond? All right, we're gonna do 1:30 for that. That's coming back at 1:30. And Norma, see if Mr. Anton Height, he needs to be here at 1:30. That's for Will Height. Joe Stenberg.
He in trouble?
Yes, no, you're so funny.
He's in trouble, he just left.
All right, so what is happening with Ratana? Okay, can I see the file on Ratana, please?
You want him up here?
Yes.
One.
All right, who's the prosecutor on Juan Carlos Ratana?
You, of course.
Good morning. So have you received all the discovery?
I'm sure I have.
Okay.
I signed off on it Saturday.
Okay, yes. All right, has an offer been tendered?
Yes.
Was it tendered today? All right, Mr. Ratana, are you rejecting the state's offer? All right, this is what I'm going to do because I don't see where I've given you a plea deadline date. So we're going to come back in 2 weeks. And at that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer, okay? All right, but here's the thing, I give everybody a plea deadline date. So I'm gonna give you a plea deadline date because I don't like for people to receive an offer and then immediately I'm expecting an answer. So I
hate to interrupt you.
well, no, I have this case as being here since August. Like this case, you're Juan Ratana, right? So I have August 9th. It was supposed to be reset today for discovery because there's some kind of issue. And then then we were just here for discovery. That's all we were here for today. Now I see in here, there's a discovery that's filed from July, but I was told that there was still some discovery outstanding. So that's why I reset it for August 25th, but now everybody's telling me you've received all the discovery. So
On July the 5th, offer was made.
all right, Mr. Ratana, do you want a chance to think about the state's offer or do you want your jury trial?
And I should say, Judge, as it relates to discovery and re-reviewing it, there will be some jail calls that will be uploaded. Specifically jail calls that are mentioned within the prosecution guide that aren't in there right now. And I will get those pulled today and I'll have them uploaded today. But those might change his disposition as some of them relate to him and another co-defendant.
All right, so they're going to give you some jail calls. So do you want a jury trial date or do you want some time to think about the state's offer?
Wait to see discovery. Yeah.
I think that they have the additional, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking they have additional discovery because your client has been making phone calls from the jail.
They are, and there's some old jail calls that for some reason didn't get put in there. But
Okay.
I will upload all of them and identify from Mr. Stenberg which call is more important. to me.
That is so.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I have a 2-week reset on Ratana. That's going to be your plea deadline date.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, you can put it on September 8th. And then after that, jury trial. All right, so we're going to come back on September 8th. And you're going to let us know whether or not you are accepting the plea bargain agreement. All right, you're welcome.
Wait, I gotta go.
All right, what are we doing on Arredondo? Working on it?
I have an offer. right now.
All right, Chrisman. Could I see the file on Jerry Chrisman? I'm sorry, Sean Chrisman. Who's in the hospital? Well, do we have proof of that? All right. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 4261 and 2022 CR 4262. State of Texas versus Sean Chrisman. Can I have parties from the state? Crispin, somebody from the state?
Marcus Sanders for the state.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:53 a.m. Mr. Crispin is not in the courtroom. This case was recalled from August 8th to its present date. Deputy Laura, is there a Sean Crispin in the hall?
No, Your Honor, there's someone in the hallway.
State?
Because we are asking that his bond be forfeited and a warrant issued.
That'll be granted. And he will be remanded without bond. You're welcome. All right, and Raul Reyes, did we take care of that on a different date? Raul Reyes. All right, can I see the file on Arredondo? Who's here for Ariane Arredondo?
I'm waiting on that. Offer from the state.
All right, where's your client? Okay, all righty, they show him on bond. All right, everyone, the court is going to take its break at 12 p.m.
Judge, real fast on Jacqueline Wallace, we've finished conferring and the same thing with Mr. Stenberg's client, their co-defendants.
Mhm.
The state needs to get me some jail calls and things, so I would ask if we can have at least a few weeks for them to do that for us.
All right, can I see the file on Jacqueline Wallace, please? And we'll come back on, Norma, on Jacqueline Wallace, we're coming back on September 8th.
September 8th,
Yes.
okay. Don't have, might close out enough time.
I'll get, we got trouble time, guys.
Okay, thank you.
That's for them to upload jail calls. And you can put it down as discovery.
My hair looks that bad.
Mhm. All right, we're done with Miss Wallace. All right, and who's here on Ethan Ferriss? All right. Court is taking its noon break. Brenna, you can step down. All right, yes,
Well, I've just turned in paperwork for 1:30.
1:30.
Yes, yes.
All right, we'll be back.